Welcome to our Pecha Kucha that explains the various connective tissues found in the human anatomy. In this video, you will be learning about the different functions, locations, and structures of each connective tissue. After watching this video, you will be experts in anything having to do with connective tissues. We hope you enjoy this presentation and find it useful. Now at this point, you're probably asking yourself, what exactly is connective tissue? Well, to answer your question, connective tissue can be defined as being a biological tissue that both supports, connects, and separates different tissues and organs of the body. There are four distinguished types of connective tissues: proper, cartilage, bone, and blood, all of which we will be covering in the entirety of this video.
The most common and widespread type of connective tissue is classified as proper. Proper connective tissue is made of gel-like material that consists of visible protein fibers surrounded by a fluid ground substance, which flows around the body and makes contact with cells. This type of tissue has numerous subcategories that can put under two categories: loose and dense. Loose connective tissue is located beneath epithelial membranes and glandular epithelium. They contain many fibroblast cells, fluid ground substances, and loose arrangements of fibers. It has three subcategories of cells which serve as the main site of rapid fluid and gas exchange between blood and local tissue. The three types of loose connective tissues: areolar, reticular, and adipose. Areolar and adipose are the most abundant types out of the three. Areolar tissue binds and joins muscles beneath the skin. Reticular provides support to organ, tissues, and individual cells like adipose. Adipose tissues functions as a major storage site for fat in the form of triglycerides. Dense connective tissue is located in the ligaments and tendons of the body and lower part of the skin, the dermis. They bind bones together and attach muscle to bone. They also transfer force for movement from muscle to bone. They mostly contain a type of protein fiber called type 1 collagen and have the same fibroblast cells in the loose connective tissue but do not have the same ground substances. There are three types of dense connective tissues: regular, irregular, and elastic. Dense regular tissues are fibers that are packed closely together. They bind bones together and also attach muscles to bone. Dense irregular are made up of elastic fibers and collagen. They provide protection to the tissue and an organ it surrounds. Elastic tissue allows fibers for elasticity for movement.
Connective tissue is cartilage, which can be found all over the body. Its main function is to act as a cushion during tension and compression while providing support to certain areas of the body. Cartilage does not contain any blood or nerves, but primarily consists of cells known as chondrocytes and empty spaces called lacunae, creating a tough, flexible matrix of collagen and elastic fibers. Three major types of cartilage, the first and most common type being hyaline. This glass-looking material provides pliable support and structure to areas like the nose. Without cartilage, the tips of our noses would not be flexible enough to move around like it usually does. Hyaline cartilage also reduces friction between bony structures, seeing as it connects our ribs to the sternum. The second type of cartilage is classified as elastic cartilage. Its main function is just as the name suggests, to provide strength and stretchability to wherever it is needed. The most common location for elastic cartilage is on the ends of our ears. It is because of this material's abundance that we are able to bend and play around with our ears without the fear of them being ripped off our head. This type of cartilage is known as fibrocartilage. With its structure primarily composing of thick collagen fibers, this type of cartilage is known to be a shock absorber while undergoing large amounts of pressure. It also keeps bones from rubbing up against each other. Fibrocartilage can be mainly found in locations such as knee joints and in the discs within the vertebrae.
One major type of connective tissue found in the body is bone tissue or osseous tissue. This type of tissue is the major structural and supportive tissue found in the body, and one of the main materials found in bones, along with bone marrow, small blood vessels, epithelium, and nerves. Bone tissue is very vital and important to the body's performance. There are two types of bone tissue: cortical bone and cancellous bone. Cortical bone, also known as compact bone, forms the hard exterior that people think of when they think of bones. Cancellous bone, also known as spongy bone, tissue is the material that fills a hollow interior of the structure. Both of these forms of tissue are mineralized connective tissues. Bone tissues have many different functions in the body. Bone tissue provides support for muscles, organs, and soft tissue. They also give the body the ability to move and have leverage. The bone tissues also provide protection to vital organs, stores calcium phosphate, and indirectly helps hemopoiesis, which is the formation of blood cells by the bone marrow. Bone tissue is found all over the body and anywhere where bones are located. They are needed all over the body to protect fragile organs and vital parts of the body necessary for survival. Possibly the most important area that bone tissue is found is the skull because it protects the brain. Without the tissue, the body would be very weak and not able to function effectively.
Another type of connective tissue is blood tissue. It is a connective tissue that has a fluid matrix called plasma and has no fibers. It has two different cells that circulate throughout the body. These two cells are red blood cells and white blood cells. They carry nutrients and oxygen to tissue cells and carry waste from these cells. They also help in keeping your body safe from diseases. Red blood cells are the most common type of blood cell in the human body. Its main function is to deliver oxygen and carbon dioxide to the rest of the body tissues via the circular system. Red blood cells are rich in hemoglobin, an iron-containing biomolecule. This specifically helps the cell by both binding and carrying oxygen to the body. White blood cells, also known as leukocytes, are the cells in the immune system that are involved in protecting the body from infectious diseases and foreign invaders. White blood cells are produced in multipotent cells found in the bone marrow. These cells are also found throughout the body and are vital for the body's well-being. Platelets participate in the stages leading up to coagulation of the blood to stop bleeding through damaged blood vessels. They are darkly stained structures that are much smaller than red blood cells. Blood has a number of functions, but primarily it transports material through the body to bring nutrients to cells and remove waste material from them.
As you can see from the contents of this Pecha Kucha, there are many different types of connective tissue that can be found throughout the body, each holding a crucial role for various bodily functions. Without these connective tissues, the body would be fragile, inflexible, disconnected, and would not have a sufficient blood flow. Thank you for listening.